If you're new here, do just take a second to listen to my story and who I am. If you're not, then hi. So, I'm Bradley, I'm 23 years old, and I have functional neurological disorder. Now, some of you might know what that is, some of you might not. Functional neurological disorder is a neurological condition that causes physical symptoms because the brain is not signalling to the body, the brain is not wired properly. Easiest way to put it. Scientific way, functional neurological disorder is a condition where you are displaying symptoms, portraying symptoms of other conditions, but there's no signs. There's no signs or tests to reveal what's going on. Everything's coming back clear. Now that might seem confusing. It was confusing for me when I first got it, but the way I see it now is my brain isn't signalling the right connections to the rest of my body, resulting in some of my symptoms. Now, I suffer from non-epileptic attacks, speech difficulties, sensory difficulties, and functional movement disorder, that is involuntary movements like this one, which I'm going to add in right now. So what you just saw is a snippet of my foot having involuntary spasms. Now that is a difficult symptom on its own. I have had full-blown non-epileptic seizures. Now people ask me, well, what's the difference between a non-epileptic seizure and an epileptic seizure or any other type of seizure? Now the difference is, with an epileptic seizure, it's affecting the electronic waves and the electronic part of the brain. With a non-epileptic seizure, it's not affecting the brain, it's not causing any physical damage to the brain, but that isn't to say it is nonetheless important. A non-epileptic seizure can still be as dangerous as an epileptic seizure or any form of seizure. It still gets treated the same way, but just without the medicine that an epileptic person would need. The confusing part with a non-epileptic seizure is an ambulance doesn't always need to be called unless it's under extreme circumstances or you've physically injured yourself. I myself only needed an ambulance 1 or 2 times, and that was before I was first diagnosed. Now I am coming to terms with knowing what it is, but that doesn't mean I don't struggle, because I still do. Now I'm going to insert another video of another one of my symptoms, and I will be right back. 100% yes, it was painful. No one can walk on a foot like that. Now, for those that are asking what that is dystonia, functional dystonia. That is where the muscles have contracted and stay in a certain position due to the severity of the contractions. With that episode, it was my foot, and my leg had had complete muscle contractions from a non-epileptic seizure the night before, and my foot became locked in that place for about 2 weeks, and it was absolutely horrendous. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I going on about FND so much? And that's because FND, although it's so common these days and so many people have it, FND doesn't have the recognition it deserves, and it doesn't have the awareness, because so many people still don't understand what it is. FND is so stigmatized, and so many people disregard people's actual symptoms because they relate it to a psychological condition. Yes, there's psychological parts to FND, but there are so many physical parts as well, and there are so many symptoms that a lot of people struggle with, and they don't get the awareness for it. So my point of this video is to show what FND is and to show how it can affect people like myself or how other people deal with it. FND has so many concepts of what falls under FND, and that's because it mimics other conditions. It mimics MS, stroke-like symptoms, epileptic symptoms, but it's not really a case of that's what it is. It falls under its own neurological pathway, and I will continue to say neurological because it's happening up there, and that's the brain. As much as people like to say it's psychological, and I agree parts of it are psychological, it's more neurological, and I will continue to say that until the day it gets the recognition it deserves. The point of this video is to say, I'm Bradley, I'm 23, and I have FND. And if you can spare another 5-10 seconds, then I would appreciate if you can just go and sign the petition to fund that treatment and get the recognition for FND. And if you want to see more awareness on FND and all things me, then do follow me and let me know where you're from and what you think.